Good day, everybody. It is Calxiyn and Hunter here, and thank you for attending Calxiyn's Royal Court, where today we are going to be talking about the RWBY characters we hate and the RWBY characters we love more than anything else. Somebody requested us to do a tier list because our last one was like a really long time ago, and I think that our opinions have changed a lot since then. It would be cool to look at what we had before. Maybe I'll put a picture on screen if I can even find that video.
You'll also see that our skincare routine has changed.
Yes, our skincare has
face,
improved.
Perhaps.
Oh boy. I'm gonna go first, and the next video is going to be Hunter. And so let's talk about hate, okay? It's a very short list, all right? There's no one that I look at them and I hate with an intense passion, except for RWBY, Cobalt, and I put Jacques there. Like, Jacques, honestly, you kind of want to hate him, so I just kind of threw Jacques
I
in
feel
there.
bad
Like, I don't know.
because it's just like a criminal, someone who sold out a whole city and probably killed thousands of people, and then just two guys that you just don't like the vibes of.
I hate their design. I hate the vibes. I hate their dumb weapons that they both have. Exactly. They're irrelevant. They're bad.
Shit, man. Neither did Neo.
Anyway, I just hate that they have no personality or anything. They have more personality in the renders, okay, which I'll also post a picture of. RWBY's he's ice skater, pose in this render, not personality at all. You know what I mean? They had no personality at all in this show. So yeah, I just hate Cobalt and RWBY's design so badly. CL should have been part of Team Funky. I don't know how that would work, but anyway, that's a story for another day. So yeah, I just hate all of them. Jacques, I don't know. Jacques I just put there because you're supposed to hate him, but I don't
it felt inappropriate.
Yeah, exactly. It felt inappropriate to put him in dislike with some of the other characters, and so yeah, I just kind of stuck him there. I hate RWBY and Cobalt more than I hate Jacques, so let's just get that out of the way. Let's talk about dislike, okay? So the way that I was thinking about this, and this may be a unique perspective, right? It was would I read a solo fan fiction of you? If you were the focus of season 3 of Bridgerton, would I follow your romance story? Do I want to see you on screen? Do I want you to get attention? That is the bar.
I'm sorry, but Henry Marigold is the exact type of fuckboy that would work really well in Bridgerton.
Maybe. But yeah, so it's just I don't want to see you. I don't want to perceive you. I don't want you to be perceived by me in the context of you get screen time. With Clover, it's honestly not that serious. It's not that aggressive, but that's Cordovit, the end of the scale is I don't want to see you. You know what I mean? The end of the scale is I do not want to see you. Why did you get screen time? Why are you here? And the more beginning Hare and Whitley, it's just and Neptune, it's just yeah, you're just kind of fucking annoying. So that was my opinion for that. Obviously, Cardin, no personality. He's just mean. I feel that they should have fleshed things out with Rhodes more because he just looks like a terrible. I mean, he kind of is, but he looks more terrible than I think was intended. Because I remember somebody said that there was a reason why Rhodes couldn't call CPS or something. It was in the writer's commentary, and I'm just that would have been good information to know, maybe, because it just seems he should be a mandated reporter and he didn't report shit. So Rhodes' character is kind of complicated and questionable. With Adam, he's just not enjoyable to watch. I feel that for volume 3 he was intimidating, and then slowly he just turned into a big crybaby. You know what I mean? He wasn't fun to watch on screen anymore. That's why I
wasn't
put him
in 4 and 5.
Exactly. And then
definitely insane.
Cinder's backstory rewrite exists. Go watch it, okay? Cinder, especially lately, I'm just why are you here, sis? Give the screen time to Neo or anybody else, literally anyone. She just
holding
bothers
back my
me.
vitriol
Her
for your
characterization lately is bothering me, and just some of the things that they've done with her, they just really, really annoy me. Clover, it's Clover was kind of annoying, but then also I think he was supposed to be, so I don't know where I sit about that.
Points were made with him.
Same things with Neptune and Whitley and Hare. They're annoying, but they're supposed to be. But even after they change, I just still don't really want to see you. Hare, maybe. Hare, I think could go into eventually, but right now I'm
Depending on how she
I would
changes.
not read a Hare fan fiction right now, a solo Hare.
I don't know if anybody has written any of those.
But I'm curious. That's my measurement.
I'm curious as how do you do this? Do you go how you like them just separately, or how they were like if they're likable versus how they work as a character.
I think it's kind of both. Like with somebody like, I don't know, like somebody like Whitley, I'm like, I know you're not supposed to be likable, but you're not even likable in a good, like you're not even unlikable in a likable way. Like Tyrion and Watts are kind of like, you're assholes, but I love you. I don't think that Cinder and Adam get into that territory. So yeah, it's kind of it's hard. It's very hard to decide. Do you think that like with someone like Clover, you could say like, well, he, you know, they were trying, he had a purpose in the narrative. But that doesn't mean that you like watching him or that you like him or stan him. And so I think but whether or not acknowledging or even liking their place in the narrative doesn't play as much a role. Exactly. This isn't a good writing list. It is a, you personally make me upset. Like, you bother me. That's what the list is, basically. And so, yeah, like someone like Adam, that he was supposed to devolve into that, you could argue and you could say. But I don't care. I still don't want to see you, buddy. Sorry. Okay. So, yeah, just to give context, that is kind of the list situation. So, speaking of which, I feel like Hunter set this up very well because I really need to. Yang. I know. Don't talk about Yang. I know. Hunter's gonna roast me. I don't know why, but Yang strikes some sort of like, it's like when you hear somebody scratch a piece of Velcro. I think that she's such, compared to the rest of the girls, she's such a basic character, and she's not as fleshed out as like some of the other girls, but she gets so much recognition for doing the absolute bare minimum. Like, that's my opinion. Like, think about Nora or like Winter or Weiss. Like, I'm just saying that there are characters that are better than Yang, but they don't get the recognition they deserve. Okay. And so that just upsets me. That just makes me mad to look at Yang. That Yang should be below a lot of the characters in the like category. I'm going to explain, though. However, Dan, I believe. That Kaito Dan? Yeah, yes. He did a Twitter poll of who was the favorite RWBY character. And Yang fucking sweeped. Yang I hate that. I hate that Yang gets so much attention for being like bare minimum. I felt like when you were going against the other members of like Blake or Weiss or Neo or Penny or characters that I personally feel. It's like the Oscars, right? Like Yang, like the Yang, what do you call it? We have to implement something that like takes Yang down by 10 points. There is Yang inflation. There is fake Yang currency being put into the election. Being put into the economy. Like, you know what I mean? That's just how I feel about Yang. It's not that Yang's a bad character. It's that I just feel like she's like a 7 out of 10. You know? But people treat her like an 11 out of 10. And I like her a lot as a character. But she's not my favorite, and I am kind of blown away by people's like, Warner Brothers made a whole like official account. I know, I saw that too. That upset me too. And like Yang is like going up against who was it? Like Bugs Bunny and Harley Quinn and Arya Stark. Fucking Arya Stark. But still, the fact that she beat Harley Quinn, the fact she's probably gonna beat Bugs Bunny is pretty wild because it's like. I just want to say, right, when I say I'm upset, I'm not like lying awake at night thinking of this. I just think if you brought it up with me, I would tell you. If you brought it up with me, I'll tell you how I feel. But if you don't bring it up with me, I'll shut the fuck up because I know some people really like Yang and like Kin Yang, and so I don't want to like disrespect the people that like stan Yang. You know what I mean? So I try not to like post that on Twitter because it just causes like unnecessary negativity. So instead we decided to make a whole YouTube video about it. You asked for this, okay? That's all I'm saying. People asked to know. So if you don't want it, like, I'm not gonna post it unsolicited. Somebody else. So let's talk about the like category now. All right. And it's a definite bell curve. More people in the like than in the hate. And so I feel like that, like, somewhere around Klein is like the line of division. Like if I had to make another like, I don't know, if I had to make another list, I would be like, I would like you if you had more, like Summer. Like we don't know shit about Summer, but I'm like, she's nice, I would like her in a theoretical context. That's sort of like what I was thinking about. Talk's pretty cool. Yeah, exactly, right? So it's like everyone past Klein, I'm like, you're kind of cool, but like I don't know enough about you sort of situation. So I have one question. Yes. Why is the Brother of Darkness so high, and why is the Brother of Light so low? Here's the thing. So, like, Willow is nice, but she's an alcoholic. Like, you know what I mean? We haven't gotten a lot of her. So I'm like, I may like you sometimes. I don't hate you. Like, I don't feel indifferent to you, but like, you know, it's like
you're all right.
You're like a 5 out of 10.
You
know
have
what
potential.
I mean? You have potential. The light brother, like, he's okay, but the God of Darkness is just more sexy, and like he does all those weird like contortions and stuff. Like, he just has like a voice acting that I find like very like, I don't know, like, I guess I don't want to say attractive.
You like him flexible,
like,
huh, Cal?
No, but
he does some contortions.
The God of Darkness just has like this voice where it's like you feel like the villainous, and it's like you dare try to like, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so I feel like he's just a
God of Light.
character.
The God of Light
is not
condescending.
As fun. Yeah, exactly.
The Brother of Darkness, like, you could party with.
Yeah, exactly. Vernelle's fun, but like she didn't get any like character development, so it's just like she's kind of a bitch. I like bitches. We like bitches. We support women's rights, and we support.
But they're wrong.
We support.
We love it when they do bad stuff.
Okay, but there's not really a lot of meat on her. So
which is why Talk's probably there. Which is why Miss Malachite's probably
kind of like
there.
like Mercury, Elm, Raven, Tai Yang. Like, that's what I meant by the dividing line of Robin and Klein. Like, everybody past Talk is like, you're cool, but we haven't seen a lot of you, especially Mercury lately. Like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean?
Mercury. Yeah.
But yeah, Robin, Klein. I don't really have anything
Raven
in particular.
Thoughts on?
I mean, they exist. We haven't seen them in a while, so it's just kind of like they're just like they're okay. They're fine, I guess. But yeah, I guess like to go past like Pietro, because I don't really have any particular, like, Jin and Ambrosius are fun. I like Ambrosius's voice. He's cool. Very Cash Money. Pietro should be protected. He reminds me of my grandpa. It's very like personal. Yeah. Maria, I wish that she existed last volume, but anyway, like she's
fun.
Really
cool. She was great in volume 6.
Fiona, cute, cinnamon roll.
I love her so much. Would fuck you up.
Yeah, would fuck you up, son. You know, in the book he gets more development. So I was like, I'm pretty sure on the last tier list, Sun was probably at the bottom. Yes. Like, I have softened my opinion about Sun, and especially like Jean and stuff.
Yeah. I like both of them more now, just because they were more likable in the newer season.
I think like everybody else up to like Nora, like, you know, I just like them well enough. I don't have any like particular
Marrow.
Like,
well,
thought about it, right?
You like Marrow.
Exactly. Like, we like
Ironwood.
them.
Thoughts on Ironwood?
I think Ironwood.
Are you just like him as a character, or is it a simp thing? Is he also flexible?
It's just as a character, I think.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. I don't have, again, like, there's like dividing lines here, right? There's invisible divided lines in the like pile. I feel like Ironwood's kind of on one of those lines where it's just like I don't like simp for you, but I would be interested to see like how did you lose like your like half of your body. Like, I would read an Ironwood fan fiction. That is the criteria. But I don't like him as much as like Tyrion, God of Darkness.
My last question is Tyrion. So arguably that's your most favorite if he's
out of like the like pile, I guess you could say. Like, he's the most favorite out of all the characters that are just in the like category.
Which I also feel like he's similar to Jean and Sun, and where he's gotten better recently.
Yeah, exactly. He has gotten, because there was a time where we made a whole video where I was like, Tyrion's fucking annoying. I wish that they would get rid of him.
He wasn't great.
He's driving me crazy. And so yeah, I think that like those kind of evil characters, they're just fun. They're entertaining to watch, and that's what we like to see. This is all about like what characters I kind of wish had more screen time, or I like when
squandered potential.
Exactly. Or I like when they're on screen, basically. That's the criteria. And so everyone in the like pile, for the most part, like Talk being on screen, you were cool. That's it. You know, that's kind of the criteria. But speaking of the segue that Hunter tried to make and I steamrolled over, speaking of people that had potential, I originally had Sienna, CL, Neon, and Flint in the like pile in like different distributions, but I think that we should acknowledge that like I feel like it's kind of like Summer, except, you know, like a little bit different, where we like the idea of Summer. We like the idea of Sienna. We like the idea of CL.
We don't really know anything about her.
Know them,
she looks good.
Like
she looks good standing in a cliff in front of a sunset.
Yeah, exactly.
But like beyond that.
And so it felt weird to rank them above the characters that we do know about, because you're basically ranking them off of like the potential they could possibly have.
So this is like a side.
Yeah, this is kind of like, I like you hypothetically. That's why I wanted to like put them in their own category.
So now
technically Summer should probably be in there too, but like whatever.
I get with a lot of these, because I get feeling that way about Cian. I get feeling that way about Team Funky, sans the members that we hate apparently.
Yeah.
But Steel Soleil, like where did...
I mean, Arnold really wants CL to come back, and I feel like CL had potential, and I'm working on a little something. Okay, no spoilers, but I'm working on something where like the Aesops are replaced with Team Funky and CL being like basically the head. And so like there's potential you could do with CL to make her relationship with Penny contrast to Winters, and that's what I kind of mean. This is like branching off into like canon divergent, you know, territory. Like there was a lot they could have done with her possibly, but they didn't. So that's why, you know, they're in their own little bubble and little section. And so technically I would put like the Sienna thing like kind of where Yang is, where like this is an aside, but just for how the list was made, you know, this is kind of how it shook up. So Sienna's not over Tyrion, let's be clear. This is just how the list like played out, you know what I'm saying?
Sienna's definitely one of my favorite designed RWBY
Yeah,
characters.
exactly.
If we're going
I'm
on
just like,
pure
I see
design,
the potential. Like you have potential.
Yeah, if we're going on pure design, Neon Cat and Sienna are like my favorites.
Yeah, and so now let's talk about love. Like I could watch you on screen all the time.
Let's talk about
read
love.
The 100K fanfic, okay? Like I would read maybe Watts not so much. I love him more in terms of the show, but
He
like
was pretty
just
great in the
across
show.
the board, like I would read the slow burn fanfiction or like the history of your entire life. I don't know, but yeah, for Watts it's more like how he is like canonly and like I mean all of the
He's
characters
pretty
and how
enjoyable.
it is canonly,
He's pretty
right?
great, yeah.
But yeah, so
all these characters, sans maybe Ilya, I think in canon are pretty great.
exactly, right? And so it's mostly 90% canon and then the 10% like fan fiction part that I was referring to. So I don't think Watts needs any explanation. He's hilarious, a joy to watch. May, same thing. We love her. We love May in this house. Ilya hasn't been around for a while, but I feel like that Ilya, she was good when she was here. Jeremy Lee did a great job with her.
Jeremy was great.
Right? The idea of Ilya, I feel like, you know, I feel like
very attached to the idea of Ilya for a very long time.
Salem needs no introduction. Salem's been like badass for multiple volumes now. The backstory, everything. Penny, I think that like, you know, volume 8 especially did a lot for Penny's character.
Because like 1, 2, and 3, I was always kind of met on her, but now she's like, I love her.
I think that's when we transformed into like Penny lovers, right?
Penny
Same with Winter. Like I liked Winter when she fought Crow, but now I'm like so Team Winter with the maiden powers.
Yes.
Weiss, I feel like that Weiss has struggled a bit. I will say.
Would you say Weiss is? I mean, I guess it's the case where she's your favorite RWBY.
Yes, she definitely is, but not lately. And I say that just because, like, I feel like that they kind of like bungled her a little bit. Like in Atlas, which was supposed to be her home, they kind of like I don't know. There was some stuff with Weiss's character arc I wasn't happy with, but like most of the volumes of there's more good volumes of Weiss than bad volumes of Weiss. You could say the volume of Weiss.
I don't think she's ever.
Very high,
I would argue she's never had a volume where she's been kind of off.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that even volume 7 and 8, I was like, I don't know what you guys are doing.
I just don't think she was very present.
I wish that they focused on Weiss more. In the place that was her home. I wish they did.
But she had her moments, like she was like she stood up to her dad.
And so like Weiss is kind of on that thread where if they keep ignoring her, like I'm gonna have something to say. But like in terms of just looking at the series as a whole and not just on volume 8, like Weiss still like stands, you know, at the top of my love list.
Like Jean and Sun have had seasons like volumes. Right. I don't think any of your love characters have had like seasons.
Yeah, I would agree. So now, speaking of people that don't have seasons, so let's talk about my favorite characters.
Okay, I feel like
should this surprise anyone?
No. In retrospect.
However, right, we have to keep in mind that even though these characters do not have screen time, they have 2 books where they were able to, 2 books for Team Coffee and then for Roman and Neo. So if you're like, oh, Cal, you're sipping for Roman, that was 3 years ago, get the fuck over it, okay? This is also based off of the books, right? The books that came out recently, so I don't want to hear it, okay? So like, Roman and Neo deserve to be up here. Just because I know people are going to be like, how can you put Team Coffee up there? They have no screen time. And I'm like, that's what the books were for.
The books were pretty great.
And the books were great.
I feel like your favorite list doesn't even like reflect well upon RWBY the show.
No,
it just reflects really well on E.C. Myers and the 3 books
really
he's
does.
made.
Isn't that funny? And I thought of a joke. I will say it. Like, the show hasn't had the chance to ruin them yet. Because Roman is dead and Team Coffee hasn't appeared. So anyway, with that in mind.
I think they're really great in the show.
They're great in the books.
Especially Neo and
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, Roman was
Neo and Roman
fan favorite villain in the show for a long time.
Neo was great in the recent season.
Exactly.
She was great in, like,
and so there's merit to this, okay?
Yes.
I'm being sassy because I know some people are gonna come for me, okay? So that's the only reason I wanted to preface it. They get so much depth and attention and development in the books. Like, some of them more than Team Juniper. Like, you know
honestly,
what I mean?
I feel like I know.
Than, like, even Ilya, like, you know, like, to an extent. Like, I know Fox better than, like, Ilya.
And Fox has never had a spoken piece of dialogue.
You know? So I feel like this has merit. This is true. It is real, okay?
I think it's also fair that
it's also hard to pick favorites. Like, it's not that Fox is better than Yatsuhashi or Coco is, like, at the end of the list. It's just like,
is Roman your favorite?
Yeah, I think Roman's my favorite.
Okay.
I will say. I think that, like, Roman's whole personality and then the depth that they gave him in the book, it's just like, you know, Roman's like a sexy guy, right? Like,
I didn't want to call you out that, but all of the men in this top list are men that
I ship with characters.
With yourself, frankly. Like, I could.
Listen, so I'm just saying that I think that Roman has merit because he was very, like, well written. He had cool dialogue. He was a cool guy. He was a cool, sexy guy. All right, and he's dead.
You
but
used the word sexy to describe this man
really gave him a lot of depth,
nuance,
in a way that we had never seen before, and that's why Roman is the best RWBY character ever. Neo, kind of like the same thing. Obviously, it's gonna depend where Volume 9 takes her. I'm a bit worried that bad things are gonna happen to Neo, and I'm gonna be upset about it, but, like, I trust them. It's okay. It'll be fine.
I love you, Neo.
Again, Team Coffee, it's sort of that same situation. The books just did them amazingly. I have there is no complaint that I have about Team Coffee. Whereas I have complaints about Weiss, like, in some of the other characters, like, for sure. Like, these are, like, I have no complaints about any of these 5. And maybe you do, but I don't care, because this is my list. It's not yours. So
this isn't a democracy.
Exactly. This is not a democracy. I don't have any problems with them, and that's the most important thing. So Hunter, what do you think of this list? Because now I think we're pretty much done.
I think this is wildly predictable. Not to challenge your taste. I think you have good taste.
Right.
I personally,
it's impeccable taste.
Sans Yang.
Okay.
I think that and Sans Yang and Sans Cinder, I think you have impeccable taste.
All right.
I was able to predict who your most hated and most favorite were.
I wonder if they will, though.
I don't know if they. I kind of want people to, like, put their, like, guesses. Yeah. But I was more or less able to. Some surprised me, like, I didn't.
You didn't expect the God of Darkness to get so high, did you?
I didn't. In retrospect, he's, like, evil and kind of has a sexy voice, and I think that's all you really need.
Exactly. I mean, he's cool.
I didn't think that you would put Ilya so high.
I have a soft spot for Ilya.
I have a soft spot for Ilya.
It's been a while, but, like, I'll always remember her as she was.
I forgot that you hated Cinder so much, so I am kind of shocked to see that.
Yeah.
I didn't think that.
I think that was what do you say? That was a purposeful forget? Like, you know what I mean?
Maybe I wiped it from my memory.
Exactly.
I wouldn't allow this slander to be in my. I don't know. I'm sorry. You put Talk ahead of Cinder.
Talk is cooler than Cinder. I'm sorry. I'll say it. I'll be controversial today.
I love them both. I love them both.
I know. And speaking of which, now, in the next video, we are going to do Hunter's list where I'm going to judge her taste. And so I hope that you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys had fun. Again, I hope that, like, this video doesn't give people the wrong impression. I'm not actually angry at anybody. I'm not angry about Yang or, like, Cobalt or Ivory or anything.
You're angry about Cobalt and Ivory, and you're angry about Cinder.
It's all in good fun. I won't, like, after this video is over, I won't think about it anymore. But if you bring it up to me, I'll tell you. I'll tell you how I feel. I actually do hope that people, especially people who think that we're, like, positive without a failure, you know what I mean? See this video.
That always surprises me.
Cal does have some
when people say we're too positive, because it's like, wow, you weren't in the room when she went off on Cobalt and Ivory.
I know, exactly. Huh? So that's sort of what I'm hoping. A nice balance of opinions here. And so, yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you for attending Calxiyn's Court today, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.